We have just returned to the UK after 10 months on the road, 5 of which we spent during the pandemic in Thailand.
In this video, we're going to tell you what our 5 months in Thailand were like during this crazy world situation.
We also gonna bring you along as we travel from Bangkok International Airport back to the UK. So let's go! In the middle of February, earlier this year, we were in the Philippines and we were actually planning to spend quite a few months there. We even bought an extension in advance to be able to spend, I don't know how many months we get, but a while. However, after a couple of weeks there, particularly me started to get a bad gut feeling. Something was telling me that we needed to get out of there. So we bought some flights to Thailand and we arrived there just a couple of days before they locked down the main island of the Philippines. Alright guys, we're in Bangkok, coming here with Easy. They just had a big thermal, what do you call it, Alex?
Thermal imagery camera.
Yeah, at the airport, at Koh Phangan, the old airport where AirAsia flies to. So it's no biggie. Today apparently they are putting other measures in for travelers arriving. I think you're supposed to fill in some health cards now and...
That was on the 11th of March actually. We flew just one day before the WHO declared COVID-19 a world pandemic. So after a few days in Bangkok, we flew down to Ranong, it's a province in Thailand, and we went to one of our favourite islands called Koh Phayam. It's not very famous. You might be wondering why we are travelling down to this island. Well, it seems imminent that Bangkok will come down to a lockdown stage, or maybe the whole of Thailand, we don't know. And we think the effects won't be too bad there. So that's why we are travelling down there, and we're planning to stay put for a while as well. So yeah, because the whole situation is crazy around the world. And as we only planned to stay there about 1 month, maybe 2 maximum, and everything felt kind of normal there in general. There were less people, I suppose, and people were mostly talking about cancelled flights to their home countries or back to Europe or whatever.
Good morning guys and welcome to Koh Phangan, Thailand. Today is kind of our first day of, I would say maybe voluntary self-isolation. I'm going to stay more than 1 meter away from people because it's so empty. Yeah, that was really the only thing that felt different from being there when there's not a pandemic. On the 26th of March, Thailand declared state of emergency.
So there's state of emergency in Thailand now. It started at midnight last night. They have warned that there might be a 24-hour curfew. I think you're not allowed to travel. Need special permission for that.
And on the 1st of April, they decided to close our island, which meant that no new people could arrive. This was a way for them to stop the spread, to make sure that there wouldn't be any COVID at all on our island. Actually, at this point, and I think throughout the whole state of emergency up until now, the province of Ranong hasn't had any cases, so they said.
Hi guys, this day is almost over. The sun is setting in, I don't know, half an hour. Feels a little bit emptier here on the island today. Some people might have left in panic, trying to get home, although there are no flights. We're just gonna wait it out. Life has today been more or less normal for us.
There were also some other restrictions. We had to wear face masks when we went to the shops, but that was really about it, because on the beach we were just as normal. We could go swimming, go for beach walks. Tables and chairs were supposed to be further apart. I don't think they were everywhere.
No, it wasn't completely enforced, was it really?
In the beginning there was a lot of hand sanitizer available. That also got relaxed after a little bit. So what happened after 2 weeks?
So after 2 weeks, things kind of started to go back to normal. People stopped wearing a face mask so much, not only foreigners but also the local Thai people to the island, and things were just pretty relaxed. It was actually a very nice place to be. You know, we could go to the beach, and it felt in a way that we were in a little bubble outside of all the crazy stuff that was going on around the world.
Yeah, we were definitely very blessed, but It doesn't mean that we went unaffected, because I did experience a lot of anxiety. I definitely went on the news too much, which I'm sure many of you also did and have done up until now.
Hey guys, it's been a little bit quiet. I haven't actually spoken to you guys here on Instagram. Just posted a few things. Haven't been doing very well. I'm feeling a little bit better. If you are struggling during these times, if you have suffered mental health issues in the past and is finding it even worse during these times, just know that you're not alone.
We're just waiting it out.
Yeah, waiting it out for 1 or 2 months, which didn't really happen.
No, it didn't.
All right then, we have changed our flight from the 6th of May to the 1st of July. That is a big jump in the dates. The UK is in lockdown. Thailand is too, but at least here we have a little bit more freedom as it is at the moment. Yeah.
Or not?
Oh, impossible, can't get out. So difficult just to get out.
Alright guys, that was not really successful in terms of filming.
They were dirty waves.
He did manage to stand a few times, but I think he was too far away.
The dirty waves, they're all over the place. No consistency. That's my excuse.
We'll have to try another day again when the waves are a little bit cleaner.
After 2.5 months, we decided to move over to the east coast of Thailand, to the bigger island of Koh Phangan, because the weather on the west coast at that time was starting to get really bad. The rainy season was starting. The beaches were becoming unusable because of all the storms bringing up lots of trash and driftwood, and it just wasn't really a nice place to be anymore.
And lots of plastic.
Yeah.
However, during this time, I don't remember which phase Thailand was going through then, because they've gone through 4 phases of easing the restrictions. But anyways, at this point there was not much public transport, so there weren't any buses or minivans going to this side of the country from where we were. So we had to arrange a private minivan together with some other travelers who wanted to move over to that side of the country as well. So we were brought there. It took a few hours, and then Alex and I got on a boat to Koh Phangan. We were screened before we got on the boat, and we were screened on arrival to the island. We weren't really screened more than having our temperature checked, and we got a little sticker saying free from COVID, even though we actually didn't have a COVID test taken.
That's quite interesting, huh?
Yeah.
As Koh Phangan is a bigger island, obviously there were many more people, but in general I would say the feeling was pretty relaxed, and we were there for 2 months, and throughout that time stuff just kind of felt more relaxed as time went on. And I would say the only times we really needed to wear face masks were when we went into the shops, and outside probably 50% of people were wearing face masks actively as they were going around daily lives and the motorbikes, whatever.
And when it comes to the shops and the face masks and the screenings, they did take our temperatures in all the bigger shops, and we were also supposed to write down our names and our phone numbers. This is part of a track and tracing scheme that they're running in Thailand at the moment. However, we never wrote down our real names, and I think most people didn't. So what did you write, for example?
I went, because I'm an international kind of guy, I went for James Bond, and the telephone number I used was 007, 007, 007.
So it was pretty relaxed. I mean, the guy outside of Macro, for 1 month, there was the same guy taking the temperature with the temperature gun on all the people entering, and he never even looked at the temperature.
The funniest thing was one day he even had a hand of sunflower seeds that he was trying to give out to people.
Anyways, let's move on.
So what did we do for 2 months in Koh Phangan?
Well, we rented a house. We were gonna rent it for 1 month because our plan was to stay for 1 month. So we rented a house. It wasn't at the beach, but we had a motorbike this whole time as well. Then we extended our stay with another month, ended up staying for 2 months. We mostly spent our time indoors, I would say, because we were working a lot. Alex was teaching online again, which he hadn't done not so much for a while, to cover our costs. And then I got dengue. Super sick, vomited, all of those kind of things. And I thought that shit, now I'm having dengue, hemorrhagic fever, or whatever it's called, which is the really, really bad version.
That was nice, right?
That was nice. I've never had so many mosquito bites in my life, and I ended up getting dengue. Apart from that, we hung out with our neighbors.
Here we are. Dinner is served, guys. We've got Oliver, Helena, our neighbours from Smart Vegan Life. Yes, got that right way around. Yeah, we'll tag them. And we've got some Indian food.
We went to some of the different beaches. We went for some walks. We were quite good at that in the beginning. We kind of just lived normal lives.
Yeah, it was quite nice.
Yeah, it was quite nice.
Hey guys, cloudy day today. We have made it down to Bantai Beach. It's a very long beach. I actually don't even understand where it starts or ends. As you can see, the tide is extremely low. So it's better to come here in high season when the tide is high.
How was it possible that we managed to stay all this extra time in Thailand without having to worry about visas?
Yeah, because we actually stayed in Thailand for nearly 5 months. So, when we arrived in Thailand, we did not have a tourist visa. We didn't go to an embassy in the Philippines because we didn't have time. So, we arrived on a 30-day visa exemption. And when we arrived in Ranong, the city of Ranong, before going to the island of Koh Phayam, we went to the immigration office where we were together with a lot of other, I think mostly stranded Italian people because they had just locked down Italy. And we extended the visa with an extra month, which we actually in the end didn't need to do because towards the end of April, was it?
Yeah, they put in the visa amnesty, which lasted until, I can't remember exactly when it lasted.
The 31st of July.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. When we arrived in Thailand, we did not have a ticket to go back to Europe. We were going to travel full time. That was our aim. However, we had planned to go back and visit family before this whole pandemic became a thing. We first decided to go back to the UK on the 5th of May to visit Alex's family and then to go see my family in Sweden. However, that flight was cancelled and moved to the 6th of May, only 1 day. But at that point, we had decided we didn't want to go back. We just wanted to wait out the time in Thailand. We cancelled it, and as we could change our flight for free, and we would only have to pay for the difference in fares, and there was no difference.
No, it was actually a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
So in the end, I think the flight was cancelled twice, and we moved it twice.
Yeah, so we ended up moving it to the 1st of August, which was 1 day after the visa amnesty would finish, because we thought they would probably extend it even further, which they actually have till the 26th of September. That one got cancelled too, and then that one was moved to the 2nd of August, and we actually got on that flight. And why was that, Alex?
So we already had a plan in place to head back to the UK, move back to Spain where we lived before, and buy a vehicle, which is the next chapter in our journey, but that is a story for another day.
Yeah, so guys, stay tuned for that. If you are new here, subscribe, because that's gonna be a very interesting chapter. We're going off-grid and we're buying a vehicle.
So what was it actually like travelling back to the UK during a global pandemic, Marlin?
Well, first of all, we had to get off the island. At this point, Thailand was in their last phase of opening up, or phase 4. I don't know how many phases they have, but towards the end of it anyway. So you could now travel domestically without a problem. So we got the boat to go to the mainland. We weren't screened getting on the boat. We weren't screened getting off the boat. We got on a bus. They took our temperature, that was all. And the face mask was mandatory. And we went to Suratani airport. As you expected, people were wearing face masks the whole time, basically, except for when eating. We flew to Bangkok. And then, we spent one night there.
We spent one night in Bangkok and then we grabbed a taxi and went to the airport.
Yeah, the following evening. And arriving at the airport, it was much busier than we had expected it to be.
Definitely, yeah. It was really busy actually.
And this was in the check-in area. We had heard these stories about the airport being completely empty. But when we looked at the actual departure board, we very soon realized that all of these people sitting there were probably on standby.
Yeah, there were probably maybe 100 flights on the board, and I think only 7 were flying. So that gives you a good indication of how many cancelled flights there are.
And one of them was ours. So we headed to the check-in desk. We dropped off our luggage and then...
Okay guys, we have dropped off our bags. It wasn't completely problem-free to do this check-in because as I am not a British citizen and we're going to London Heathrow, I had to prove that I'm a resident. First she wanted my residence card. Obviously I don't have one because I never needed one, but I do have everything that is required for proving that I'm a resident when we arrive in England, which is my marriage certificate. I'm married to that guy there. And what else do I have?
Just some stuff from the doctors, some test results showing that she has
a doctor in the UK and the right address, etc, etc, etc.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen here in Bangkok. I was expecting it to maybe happen in the UK.
But anyway, maybe you got some practice for when you get to the UK.
Yeah, I think I sounded quite unsure. I was like, ooh, really? What? Anyways, we're going to go through security. We still have many hours left. Alex has bought himself a new hat. He's nothing without a Times of Donkey hat. The other one was ruined. Anyways, guys, we're not going to vlog too much this journey, but we'll see you later.
So walking through the airport, there are quite a few shops open, especially the fancy shops like Burberry, Armani and all those kind of top-notch stuff.
Where you can spend your big money.
Yeah, and there's also the duty-free area open, so if you want to pick up some nice perfume or alcohol, you can do it there. But once you get outside of the main departures area and go into the little smaller areas...
You know where you can buy sweets and crisps and toys maybe.
Yeah, all of these things basically, and you can see everything's in plastic wrap. You obviously can't buy anything here, so a lot of the kind of gate areas are like this, and I imagine a couple of months ago it was even quieter here, but now it's actually fairly busy.
Yeah, surprisingly many people.
We've seen pictures from a couple of months ago and it was like a ghost town.
Alex is considering spending our last baht.
Yeah, but I don't think we can because we have 110 baht and the coffee is 130, which is like just over $4 for a coffee, so...
Rubbish. There we go, no coffee, but water and...
We got water and salted almonds, yes, and we have about 3 baht left, perfect.
We're sorted. This is such a weird time to be at an airport. Normally when you go to an airport, you're happy, you're excited, because you're most likely going somewhere exciting. To a new country, or you're going home to see people you haven't seen for a long time, which obviously is the case for us now, but with the current situation it's very difficult to feel any kind of excitement. So we've got one flight to Doha in Qatar, and there we have, I think it's about an hour and a half transit, and then we're flying to London Heathrow, and I really hope that I won't have any problems getting into the country. That would be so surprising. Yeah, we were really surprised that we got asked that earlier. We have about 2 hours until we board. That one, on the other hand, he has decided to have a little bit of a snooze before he's gonna have a snooze on the actual airplane.
Well, it's already 11 o'clock in the evening. I'm ready for bed.
And he's laughing and he's happy like always, even in the worst situations.
As all of you probably already know, flying during the pandemic is a bit different to when you normally travel around the world and go on airplanes. Now, I think all airlines are requiring you to wear a face mask. We flew with Qatar Airlines and they've actually taken it one step further.
Yeah, actually, when you're flying with them, you need to wear the mask as well as a visor, a plastic visor in front of you during the whole flight and during the whole trip, actually.
yeah, they won't even allow you to board the flight unless you wear them, or to even leave the aircraft without it. Yeah.
Guys, we're down in the boarding area now. We've been given this shield to put on, and Marlene's going to demonstrate it for you.
There you go, guys.
Probably can't hear her.
That's going to be so uncomfortable to sleep with that and the mask at the same time, but we don't have a choice.
That's what it is for the next 16 hours or so.
Having to wear a face shield as well as a face mask was a bit exaggerated, and it also made it a bit difficult to see because there was quite a lot of glare, especially if you wanted to watch a film or something like that. And we were also worried how it would be to sleep with it on. So we just got off our first flight. It was pretty pain-free. We managed to sleep most of the way because there are loads of empty seats, so we could lie down. It was nice. Food was kind of mediocre, not so good. Anyway, now we're in Doha, Qatar for our transfer. We've got a few hours to wait. Airport's pretty quiet, and yeah.
Did you wear your face shield the whole
Yeah,
way?
we had a face shield, but actually when we were sleeping, I took both off and just put a hoodie over my head. That did the job.
Me too. Not really sure what this big bear is about, but I've seen it in other videos. This is the first time that we're actually in Doha at this airport. First time that we're flying with Qatar Airways. It's very difficult to talk behind the mask, guys. Very, very difficult. It feels like a mumbling, and I feel like you can't understand me because you can't see my lips. You know, communication is so much more than just a voice. Like I've been doing. Now, I don't mind wearing this kind of mask for a longer time because it's quite easy to breathe through them, but I tend to get like sore in my throat and up my nose when I'm wearing the mask for many hours. So whenever I get a chance to drink, read something, I'll do it. Anyway, see you in London very soon.
After 20 hours since we left our hotel in Bangkok, we're nearly there. I can't wait to take this thing off. My ears are killing from the straps. 20 hours a bit on. But the flight wasn't too bad and wasn't painful, and we're nearly back, so that's great.
Guys, so that was our rather pain-free but pretty strange journey flying back from Bangkok to the UK.
But did anyone check you, Marlene, about your British residency or your eligibility to enter the UK?
Well, actually no, it was pretty much like normal. We just had to wear a face mask, we had reminders of social distancing everywhere, there was a lot of hand sanitizer, obviously, like in all public places or spaces at the moment. Then we just walked through the e-passport gates and picked up our bags, and we were in the UK.
We got picked up by my dad, and since then we have been in self-isolation in my parents' house on the southeast coast of the UK.
Yeah, and we have nearly finished our 14 days of self-isolation. Actually, it hasn't been too bad because they have a big house and they have a garden, and it's been nice weather, so we've been able to actually be in the garden as well, which has been really, really nice. And in a few days from now, we are moving back to Spain, like we mentioned earlier, where we will go off grid, start a project that includes a vehicle, but like we said, that is a story for another video.
So as always, guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends and drop us a comment, right?
Yeah, please drop us a comment below. Have you traveled through this weird global pandemic? Would you like to? Would you be uncomfortable? Anything, comment whatever you like. Ask us questions about a new project because maybe we can answer them in a coming video. Also, if you are new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell button so that you get notified when we upload our new videos, which will be our new adventure. We will also keep posting our re-edited videos from our previous trip that we did 3 years ago, hitchhiking from Thailand to Spain. So they will kind of be posted side by side, I guess.
Yeah, a bit of a mix really.
Yeah, a bit of a mix. That is all, guys. Don't forget to do all of these things to support our channel. We are forever grateful for your views. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
And a special thanks to all of our patrons for keeping us motivated and helping us stay on the road. If you too want to become a Patreon, head over to our page. You will find the link at the end of this video and down in the description below.